What's up, everyone? And we're here on, yes, this is Street Topics, where we talk about the live political things and stuff that's going on in the real world today. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always. And today I have with me the one and only. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm the one and only, the J, the ASSIEM, Jasim. For those that still hooked on phonics and
Oh, man.
can't read right.
So today's topic, we are definitely talking about Jonathan Major's recent verdict, and I know a lot of people are talking about this, and I think this one actually hits home, especially when it comes to family values, but also in the how today in this world we like to basically idolize them. I don't do that kind of thing, but so much of today's world used to do that. But the main thing is, I think a lot of people are shocked of how the verdict went, especially with the evidence and things went on and much more. Now, he just started laughing. But just as we warm things up, like, what's your take? I sent you the video. We're going to show the audience more about this video. But, like, what's your first couple of takes on this as we
Well,
dive
first
in?
of all, first of all, you made the statement about being shocked. Why would anybody be fucking shocked
Oh, man.
about this? How many times in the courtroom, in the justice system, it is not equal when it comes to minorities compared to non-minorities. The dominant culture, whose majority are running everything, even though they say they don't, but as we can name and show pictures that they running everything. So this should not be a fucking surprise. It
And
shouldn't, it shouldn't be a surprise to him.
it is. And it's like, it really hits on because, like, it's basically we had another black actor coming very high into Hollywood and getting all these major roles, and it only takes one little incident. And I know I made a post earlier because it's about this, because I said, like, it's so easy to have these great accolades in your career, and you just let a slight moment or be in a bad situation and letting your anger get the best of you, and now your whole career may be in jeopardy based on how they want to spin the story.
Well, let's you got a point, but that's not it. I don't see it that way.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now I know some people gonna look at this differently or whatever, but guess what? I don't give a shit. So you have to look at it. First of all, I don't care what anybody says. Tupac already put it in the album, but nobody really listened. It's a white man's world. So if it's a white man's world and he's black, he knows damn well no matter how much money you have, you're going to be under the microscope. And because you're going to be up under the microscope, you have to be careful who you're going to hook up with. Now, it wouldn't be an issue if it was another black female that he had an
Oh,
encounter with,
this whole story would have been different. Like, we ain't
but
going.
because it is a white female that was drunk, that was attacking. I mean, I don't have to be there to know. All I have to do is look at the freaking and fucking video, and you can see what happened. It's the same way where you have Rosewood, Florida, when that whole town got burnt down because some white woman lied and said it was a black person that did something to her when it was somebody else. I'm just using that as an example. It's the lie of a white woman that always get us black men in a position to either be in jail or killed.
And I can already
Some
hear right. And I can already hear right now someone like, wait a minute, this is 2023. What are you talking about? We passed that. That's in the past right now. So what would
Well,
you
they
say?
ass people up on the fucking rock because they have to go and they can look and do the fucking research. If they not so damn lazy, they can see for themselves that this type of shit is still happening over and over and over again. Only difference is that because we are in an age of technology, people are videoing what we have been seeing for over 400 years of how we've been treated. That's the only difference. And you get caught. It's just like if you go to somebody's house, right? And it's dark, and you cut the light on, and you see roaches. What do the roaches do when they see the light on?
Scared.
They scatter. Whites do that every single time when they get caught on a camera that are racist against minorities. They scatter. And they scatter and they try to find ways of lying and manipulating the system to work in their ways, which they don't take much because
I'm
they,
glad you mentioned that because I was looking at and we'll show the video in a minute. I believe it's on CNN how they were talking about how she felt like Jonathan was the one manipulating, saying like, "Oh, he wanted me to be like Michelle Obama and dress more accordingly and act like this, or kind of be in this."
okay.
So,
So let me ask you this. So he's asking her to present herself in a certain manner because he is now in the spotlight. So how she is and present herself is a reflection of him, and how he dresses and carry himself is a reflection of her. So you telling me he's basically saying, I don't need you dressing and being like a little hoe.
basically,
And so you get upset because he's asking you to dress like you have some sense, you have some pride about yourself. And also too, you representing me. So that way you making me look good, and I'm you look
and
good
we
when I'm
both look
dressed,
good.
and then we go out here and get this money. But she more concerned about not wanting.
But here is the catch, though. We are living in a day of age, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't care if I piss people off. Where they're gonna be like, "No, you are not sympathizing for my feelings. You just want to control
Fuck
me."
that. Fuck that. Fuck that. You know why? You know why I say that? Fuck that. That's the why the United States is so fucking weak right now.
It
Because
is,
all this sensitivity bullshit in regards to something like this, no, right is right, wrong
and
is
wrong
wrong.
is wrong.
Because why would, even as a father, why would you allow your child to leave a fucking house looking like a hoe, and then when she get her ass raped or anything like that, you want to blame the rapist, but then you knew there was a chance
See,
that could happen.
I'm on. I know we talk about this back and forth all the time, but the lack of accountability is crazy in
That's my
today's
whole
age
point.
because it's like women want to pretty much say, "Oh, the blame is on this. He didn't want me to be myself." But if you really think about it, you put yourself in a situation by dressing like this attire. You put yourself in a situation by aggravating him to react a certain way. You put yourself in a situation to cause. It's going to be a cause and effect. And we're in a day of time where
And I
so many
agree with
times want to sugarcoat and be like, no, 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 we're not going to do that. We're just going to blame his actions or somebody else's.
now I agree with you, but I still it's still not justified. You don't get me wrong, it's still not justified when the guy reacts. Okay.
True.
Because as a guy, you have a choice to do right or wrong, just like a woman has a choice to do right or wrong. Now, just because she's dressed a certain way does not constitute the reaction that she doesn't want. But at the same time, just like you said, there's a cause and effect. If you don't dress like a hoe and you dress with some sophistication, then of course the guy's going to respect you
Sadly,
because
not to
the
be
way
people
you
get
dress.
it.
Now, if you got all these damn piercings and all these tattoos and shit, dudes are not going to respect another female on the level that they think. I don't give a damn what females say. They got brothers,
Oh, you're
uncles,
hurting
cousins,
somebody's feelings
daddies.
right now. Uh oh.
I
Uh
don't give
oh.
a damn. If you can walk, if you can walk on three legs and not two since your birth, not because you choose to identify, but your DNA states, because you can't change DNA. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. You
Uh
cannot
oh.
change DNA. If you can walk on three legs since you were born, then you understand. Point blank. I can't understand what a woman can. I don't walk on two legs.
Right.
So I have to ask another woman. I don't give a damn if if some another dude that wants to be classified as a woman to say he's a woman, that motherfucker is not a woman. That motherfucker walk on three legs. His DNA still says he's a man. So he never have the mind of a woman. You see what I mean? So there's no way. But in this particular situation, she's not being held accountable. Now, when you look at the video, this dude is he running like the damn cops running after his ass in the hood. Like he boys in the hood, you know that part when they were running
Mm-hmm.
about to shoot
You,
at.
and you don't want to look back. You just trying to.
Yeah, he was running. So if he's running and she's chasing behind him, he's trying to get away. So how in the hell, if he was harassing or beating her ass that much, why in the hell did he run and she running behind him? I don't that there's no mental way of drama where you're gonna run behind the person that assaulted you and he taking off like hell. There's no way.
Let's go ahead.
If he was just that bad, you know what I'm saying? Now, if he was just that bad and you still with him, that's a different story. Then you'll be afraid, right? So if you
Mhm.
being afraid, even on that level, being afraid, why would a person being afraid still chase the person that just beat your ass if that's the case?
So let's go ahead and play the video, and then we're gonna pretty much dissect it, going from there. Because this is really interesting how they pretty much played this out. But I'm playing this little snippet.
Of the alleged harassment outside the SUV, where
I would start buffering a little bit. That's all good.
Yeah, you see how he walking away just at this little part. He
Yep.
trying to get away from him. You know, it's like trying to get away with some damn badass
Majors
kids.
is seen hoisting Jabari off the ground.
And you can just see them pretty much running right here as well.
Yeah, who's in the lead? He looked like he's running a marathon.
Not the Houston Marathon. I'm
Yeah,
playing.
he looked like
And
he's running a
shoving her
marathon.
back into the SUV.
Now
All
look,
right.
look, he not fighting her. He trying to get her out.
That
He's
that
not
was pretty
being rough.
cut and dry. It
Now,
seemed
okay, I'm gonna stop
very
it right here
early.
because this right here is like where people, and I really want to dive into this. That you actually have people commenting and saying like, "Oh, he was a little bit too aggressive right there, shoving her into the car." I don't see him actually hitting her face or anything.
Okay, so let me ask you this question for all the dumb motherfuckers out here. Why wouldn't he be a little rough to put her in the car or get her out of the car when the car stopped at the location in the street where if somebody would have came, the car would have gotten hit or she would have gotten sideswiped by a car. And he's trying to get her in, or he's trying to get her out so she would not be in danger. So you telling me because sensitive motherfuckers want you to
Mm-hmm.
be hold them and caress them
Press them.
while you have somebody
Mm.
in danger, being in the street as possibly drunk, acting a fool, and they not know what the hell
And
going on.
that is the key thing too, because she could have been intoxicated. You gotta do certain actions to get things done accordingly. Like when a person isn't like intoxicated, like, you don't know what kind of action they're gonna do.
Mhm.
Like for if you ask any kind of law enforcement, especially if they're dealing with someone who's intoxicated, you think they're gonna be like, "Hey, sir, I need you to gently kind of go over there. I'm not gonna hurt you." No cop is gonna do that.
And let's go deeper than that. How many people, anybody, any dumb motherfucker, if don't understand this, but if you're very smart, you understand this. There are different types of drunks. Yes or no? There are happy drunks.
Yep.
There are violent drunks.
Oh yeah. He
There are
knows.
drunks that fall asleep.
Yep.
They don't do nothing. So why didn't they question the type of drunk she was? She may be in a violent drunk, and he's like, hey, you know, and
Like
trying
chill down.
to,
Like chill out. Like you
yeah,
know.
you know what I'm saying? So why wasn't that even thought of in the trunk?
Because we live in a world where I'm gonna piss people off with this, where we don't want to make women take accountability for their actions.
And that's true. That's true. But the other part is, I say he should not have been, and this is my opinion, if you're gonna date somebody that is of the dominant culture, you date up, not down.
Ooh.
Okay. And you pay attention to the signs, the warning signs. You don't ignore no damn warning signs.
Oh hell no. Been
So
there,
I'm
done.
sure he his accountability is that he ignored all the warning signs and the fact that he was in the spotlight. So I know the attitude has probably changed in her when he's always around. Especially he's getting more popular.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it, if this girl came from the trash or from the trailer park, that's a 50-50. You got some that's good, some that's bad. If you got somebody that come with a lot of money, well,
Well,
they think they own everything, and they, you know what I'm saying.
yeah, you know what comes with the territory,
If you get
basically.
someone that just straight from, you know, the hood, but you see them busting their ass, you see the work ethics, then you got a better chance.
Pretty
You see what I'm
much.
saying? People do not pay attention to the warning signs of who and what the person that they are with. They
Because we have this thing of like we have okay, I can fix them. They're not gonna act
can't
like
fix nobody. If anybody say that they can fix somebody, I'll be damned. You cannot fix anyone. A
hell
person
no
only fix themselves.
themselves. They wanna look, you can hope all you want to, but the change gonna have to happen within themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And now let me hit on this one as well, because I want to make sure we hit all this. Like when I was looking at some of the blogs and much more, keep this in mind. He was acquitted of intentional assault. So he didn't get charged for that. And a lot of people were confused. So he got acquitted for that, but he got charged for reckless assault. But then he got not guilty of aggravated assault. And when some of these analysts were looking at this, they were like, wait a minute, how are we going to not charge somebody for aggravated assault and acquit them basically of intentional assault? But out of nowhere, we're going to say we're going to charge you for reckless assault. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, he don't hit it. Go ahead.
It makes sense. This nigga is making too much money and he getting too popular. We got to put him in this
Then
place.
space.
And not only that, this Negro, this Negro is dating a white girl, and we ain't liking it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an example out of him, and we're gonna mess with his money and his livelihood to try to keep the others in their place.
Sadly, that happens a lot of times, especially when you're on the upcome. Do I wish like it was better? Heck yeah, but unfortunately, we have some people in crooked that wants to like make an example of us at times, and it
At
happens
times, all
over.
the times,
Oh yeah, over and over and
you
over.
just have to know what you're looking at, and you have to look at the reality and not the fantasy. You have to look at the reality and not the illusion. You have to look at the reality and not the distraction.
Because there is a lot of distractions out here, and it's so easy for us to go into that pretty much that domino effect.
Hmm.
And another thing I want to hit on too is it's like a lot of people don't realize it's like giving permission, especially when you have a high profile person like this and they basically get away with their BS.
Hmm.
So it's now you're giving permission, like, oh, okay, now women can act like this. They can lie. They can pretty much cause a whole phase or whatever. I can do whatever I want because I know at the end of the day, I can go to court system and you can have all the evidence you can, and much more against me, but I'm gonna still walk around on top.
All it is, she is another form of Karen. That's all she really is. And he fell for the bullshit. He fell for the okey doke. Yes, I agree. It is now starting to set a precedence. And if black men do not watch and know who they are dating that is not of the same race, I guarantee you it's going to only get worse because as the economy gets worse, these some, not all, but most of these women are gold diggers and they're going to want to take you to court to try to get some money out.
And every last thing out of your pocket, property, and much more. And
Well,
then you got to start all over and with a major, basically, mark on your entire life. Meanwhile, she is basically laughing, talking to her homegirls about how she got everything and that you, here's the key thing, without taking accountability, you deserve it.
right. And it's starting to become better for men to be alone
Sadly,
while
yeah.
they're building their careers and not be with someone during that time. Be
Mhm.
with that person after you reach your goal of your career and have them sign a prenup.
Unfortunately, it gets to that point at times.
And
And
I
my
don't care if it's marriage or if it's girlfriend. If you got a girlfriend, you're gonna sign some paperwork because you ain't getting shit from me. If you so called love me, you then you'll sign this because I'm protecting myself. And if you love me enough, then you'll make sure I'm protected. And if not, then we don't need to be together.
and and I'm glad we're talking about this because these are like hard topics that people hate to bring up, but it's street topics. So we're bringing it raw and right into your face. And I honestly came from a background where my own people said like, yes, make sure you have your own shit from your credit, your property, all that, and much more, because you don't know when people gonna turn on you, and then use that against you and take everything that you have and much more and leave you dry.
Hmm.
And I hate that reality. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's the world we live in. I have to be precautious and think steps ahead.
Yeah, because everybody is selfish.
Hmm.
And they're so selfish to the point where we're tearing up each other's family. We're tearing up the government. We can't even protect the United States of used to be of America. You know, we cannot even protect the environment. We cannot protect the animals. We're not protecting goddamn kids from child trafficking. We're not protecting anything because we're always looking at me, 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 me,
Me,
me.
me, me.
It has that selfish fucking mentality. And for me personally, I'm tired of the shit. I'm tired of it, and I'll call it out. So anybody that don't like what I'm saying right now, get it.
Matter of fact, anybody don't want like what we're saying, hop on the podcast and discuss about it.
Yeah, discuss it. But guess what? At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what you say. Facts are facts. There's plenty of authors and journalism that have proved what I'm saying from since beginning of time. How selfish we have
Have
become.
become.
Even if you want to go in the side of religion, you can see how selfish people was.
And I'm doing even more research on that and learning as I go. Them Europeans were selfish as hell. They
So
wanted their own motive, their own way and philosophy and way of living, and pretty much brainwash people to. But that's a whole nother topic. I can just go on from. But yeah, I definitely agree to you when you can bring that up.
but yeah.
So with that said, like I'm gonna speak definitely for the fellas, and we because we need to hit on this as well. We need to think several steps ahead, get control our fucking emotions because let's I'm just be blunt. Women at times like to use or advantage our emotions or things that make us feel weak or prideful against us to make us move in different kind of ways. But we gotta control our emotions. With the main thing I'm getting to, think several steps ahead and protect our assets because nowadays if we don't do that and think steps ahead, the world would take all that right underneath your feet.
And they already taking shit up under the feet right now because guys do not do any of that. They react because someone decides to drop their drawers and give them a piece of ass. And and then they lose their fucking mind and can't think and use any logic.
They're gonna be like, oh, did he just say? Yeah, he did.
And
It's meant to be said too.
and my thing is, if her twat is not 24 karat gold, then you shouldn't be acting like a goddamn fool.
Now hold on, you gotta watch it with that because I can guarantee you someone gonna be like, "Oh, mine's is 24 karat gold."
Nigga, please. I don't see it. I don't see that shit on the stock exchange for gold. I don't see that on the stock exchange for gold. You full of shit.
Because let's be honest, they're quick to pull that card real quick. Actually, like when it comes down to it, be of something of actual real value for growth, productivity.
Now,
Not
if your brokers want to be a hoe, let a hoe be a hoe. Okay. But because you want to be a hoe and somebody is trying to mature and grow and better themselves, and you still want to act like have a child mentality, don't blame somebody else that's trying to grow while you still want to be a kid mentally, regardless how much hair you got on your cat. You most definitely do not want to do that. That shows your ignorance and your level of thinking. Now,
at its finest.
now the guy that's with her is also a reflection of his mentality. Why would you date someone
Thanks. I was about to get to that.
on that level in the first place? So you can't really talk about that person because you chose that person. So what does that say about your mentality?
It goes both ways.
Exactly.
I definitely agree to that. So, ladies and the fellas as well, it don't matter how old you get, you can still have a childish ass mentality. And unfortunately, we see that a lot. And it don't. And oh, and another thing too, I'm gonna hit this one. It doesn't matter how many kids you have, you can still have a childish ass mentality.
Sure does.
And that's actually worse because now you are planting that seed in the child, and you don't want to take it.
No, them badass baby kids running around like cockroaches, getting in the shit. No, you need to do better. You need to be better. You need to have a standard that you can reach to, a goal, and not have a standard that's low because you'll never get to the potential where you should be, which means if you don't get there, then you're not going to get what you ought to be getting that you've been wanting to get.
So as we wrap things up, like what can we do to probably make some steps and moving forward progress? Because I feel like we are on a hamster wheel doing the same thing over and over and over, and it doesn't even matter how poor or how much money you get. Clearly, it's shown on TV. It's like the same mistake is being hit again.
I think we need to react on several things. Well, one, we need to react by listening to the person that you're talking to. Then you need to be watching to the person that's talking to you. Okay. Then you need to be listening to the tone of the voice of the person that you're talking to. Why am I saying those three things for at this point right now? Is because their body language, if their tone of their voice, what they're saying, and how they're saying it don't match, that's a bullshit sign. Something is wrong.
Hmm.
You stay with a person long enough, their true nature comes out.
Oh, it's gonna come out. You're gonna find all them flaws.
So when their true nature starts coming out, that's when you need to have an exit plan to get the hell out and not stay there. And that's the warning sign that a lot of guys miss when it comes to a female.
And we have. I'm speaking to the fellas. Do not be ashamed if you see all the signs and much more. I'm talking to myself as well. That things are not going well, toxic and much more. Don't feel embarrassed. Drop your pride and all that. Do the right thing and get the hell up out of there. Because the longer that you stay in that, the worse it's going to get and can be even more damaging.
That is true. I concur. I agree. When I say get the hell out of Dodge, you better get your ass out of Dodge. Or let me put it this way. You better be getting your ass out of like a bat out of hell.
Hell. Or you're going to be living in hell for life.
Exactly. And you better hope her ass don't get pregnant. because you in hell for a long.
Long time. And then you just plant the seed.
Exactly. Now you got a little demon that you about to have that you got to figure out. Because remember, it doesn't have your DNA only; it has
As
Psycho's
I'm so-
DNA as well. So you got to deal with that.
oh, and don't forget, the other partner is going to be defending that little child as well.
Exactly.
So you can change all you want to, but now you actually are facing two opponents now.
Exactly.
One is stubborn, don't want to listen to you, and now you have a child that only wants to listen to the person that's feeding basically that their bullshit.
Exactly.
So you basically about to have a life of hell.
And that's all because you made a bad decision. You ignored the warning signs. You saw the warning. You may have saw the warning signs, but you chose to stay when you should have bounced the hell out of there as fast as a cat can lick its own ass.
And if they get mad, so what? If you have that, yeah,
they get over it.
they get over it. So with that said, like, go ahead and tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me on my podcast. You know, we real and raw, and you see how I am. I don't sugarcoat it because we are unpolitically correct. Live every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And our podcast is called In the Trenches Podcast. And guess what? It's not THE, it's THA. Yeah, we hood in the trenches. So check us out on every single podcast platform. But if you want to see us live like you do now, you check us out on YouTube, but also to check out our merchandise. We got some bad merchandise, and if you're for fighting for the kids in, child trafficking, check us out on our hottest shirt that's out. God's children are not for sale. We got it out, and it's hot and it's limited.
Well said. Thank you for all the great information, your input in much more, and keeping it raw and hitting them straight in the face. Because look, somebody, hey,
no problem. I'm always keep it real.
It's your host Chris Holmes as always, and this is another episode of Street Topics. Peace out.
Peace.